Welcome to the Big Dumb Post Show. We are excited to have everybody joining us today. Now, just before we went on, you were saying that you too were going to show off a little leg today, and I was, aren't you going to?
No.
Matthew and I got a glimpse of it.
I don't want to blind anybody else.
Come on.
I went on a hike yesterday, and so did you. Garden of the Gods. You did Garden of the Gods. I did Roxborough, and I did not get enough sun yet. This would, like, the cameras would break.
It was so pretty yesterday. AJ and I, if you watched yesterday's post show, you saw that my son joined us, which was fun. He talked about that the rest of the day. And it was very funny because he's on the radio every Friday doing Mama Drama. And he's been on the radio every Friday for 5 years? Mm-hmm. It's got to be like 5 years. Being on camera was the first time. And he was first time actually being and seeing the studio and all that stuff. And all day we'd just be hiking in the house and he'd be like, how many people were watching? And I'm like, honey, trust me, when it comes to like anything, how many people are listening, how many people are watching, just always ignore. Like yeah, but how many people are watching? I was like, I don't know. And I'm taking some guesses. And then by the end of the hike, I realized it's because I think he wants to impress this girl in his class. Like, he wasn't saying because he was nervous. He wanted stats.
You're like 3,000 people were watching live at this moment. 3,000.
Nailing it.
People in Canada just enjoying our
high following. Let's talk ACM nominations. Usually we would begin this and be like, okay, and kind of go through what award shows can be, which seems sometimes a little predictable, a little bit political, not in the way of politics, other than the industry of music, right? Perfect example, Beyonce winning the award for the Grammy for Best Country Album. Very much.
There's record labels. They play a part in who gets nominated.
Yes.
There's behind the scenes politics.
Yes. So today, seeing the ACM nominations and Ella Langley leading the way with 8 nominations was really exciting to see because she's very, very talented. Kelsey Ballerini being in the category for the first time of Entertainer of the Year.
She's here this Sunday, Ballerina.
Yes, was very exciting because it was like, okay, here's some new blood kind of coming in. And a lot of that new blood we were seeing was females in country, which we have been pretty lacking for a while. So I was really excited.
Also, big shout out to new artist nominee Bailey Zimmerman. I mean, it's been an amazing. When did he do Hooba Joob? 3
years ago.
New artist Bailey. There's always little outliers, and then there's Chris Stapleton, everyday nominee.
And he'll win.
And I say this, it's not even a disparage artist because Chris Stapleton has said on stage, I don't even know why you nominated me. I took a year off.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So, and by me, he's put out an album and, he's won and he's super talented. But when you think about what is the justification of an award, like when you talk about artists of the year, entertainer of the year, Morgan Wallen has the biggest tour in the history of all histories of concerts, biggest songs with Post Malone. It was like heard everywhere, still heard to this day. These should be common sense awards there. Now, there's writers awards, there's like production awards. That's where these things can get a little artsy, if you want to call it that. But when you're talking about entertainer or artist of the year, luckily the CMA's got it right now. Morgan Wallen, I think, just unboxed that award and just took a picture of it. He still hasn't even acknowledged that CMA for entertainer of the year. He just took a picture of it. So we know it made it. It's at its house.
It made it and he got it there. But yes, I think honestly, he probably feels a little bit, the Morgan Wallen thing is its own monster of drama and opinions. But I think also with the artists that are coming up through country right now, one of the things that makes country so relatable to a lot of people is taking the glam away. You're not seeing, and this is all said with love, but you're not seeing the Carrie Underwood look anymore of perfect everywhere in the big, you're seeing a little messier. You're seeing the Ella Langleys. Then you're seeing the artists like Coetzels. You're seeing artists that come through like Zach Bryan. I don't think you could pay him $1 million to have him show up at any of that stuff because he's like, not my vibe. That's why we are so relatable right now and people are drawn to countries. Finally, it's stripping away from the glam country or the bro country that it was to like real stuff. So I hope it's reflected in the awards. I don't know if it will be.
We'll see. I'm excited to see. There always is the who should win and who will win.
Yeah.
So we'll see who wins these awards, and will Chris Stapleton end up 100 times, or will like some of these new artists get a shine? And again, I say that because Chris Stapleton, I know he agrees.
Yeah.
He knows that there's artists out there putting in work, and he's run out of people to shout out. His wife's like, don't talk about me anymore. I'm done.
Just replay one of my old speeches.
Yeah.
Replay one of those. Okay. With that, you made a good point that Kelsey Ballerini being in town this weekend. Does that kick off concert season in Denver?
I mean, it's spring.
Does it?
We got a lot of big shows on the way.
Yeah.
You know, there's a little lull. I mean, sometimes I think it is. I mean, it's finally going to be 80 degrees today. We got, of course, Birthday Bash in July.
Yep.
We've got Old Dominion on the way. Big Red Rock shows coming.
Yes, that aren't even announced yet, which is super exciting. There are some really fun ones. Red Rocks always has just fun ones to talk about because they'll do different things than anyone else. But with that, we got into an off-air conversation yesterday about the shows. There'll be many shows that are attended by a lot of people. The show you're looking forward to so far the most. The rule was we couldn't pick our own, like we can't just say Birthday Bash.
Yeah.
Because that obviously is going to be the most fun one, and we have such a great time. But what show this summer are you most looking forward to? Matt, let's start with you. You weren't in that conversation. Is there a show this summer coming that you're like, oh, if I had to pick one?
You know, that's a great question. I haven't bought a lot of concert tickets yet, but my wife is a huge Kelsey Ballerini fan, and we are going on Sunday. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
Yes. Looking forward to see how happy she will be.
Yes. Entertainer of the Year nominee. And you've never seen Kelsey before?
Neither of us
She's
no.
phenomenal. She is phenomenal in concert. And she's just like, she's so good. She's so good. You go with
I love Jelly Roll and Post Malone. I've seen Post Malone a dozen times, but I've never seen country Post Malone.
Okay.
So seeing that at Sports Authority Field, and he's got the tailgate beforehand.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
I'm going to say, and it's going to happen fast, and then it's going to be over because it's probably the next show that is happening. The one show, have to start to finish, Turnpike Troubadours. Red Rocks. Oh my God. I'm so excited for that show.
That should be a good show. The thing about Red Rocks, you can go to anything at Red Rocks. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Some bands do better. Like that first time Zach Bryan's at Red Rocks. Problem is you can't see him it even felt a little bit weird watching him at Sports Authority or at Empower Field.
Yeah.
They made it work because they made it. But even there, I was like, this isn't Red Rocks.
He is so fit for Red Rocks. And Turnpike, I was introduced to them live opening for Zach Bryan last year, and when they announced the Red Rock show, they are the band that fits so perfectly there.
And the thing is, the artists look at that day that Zach Bryan did the last Red Rock show,
the snow day.
No, it was after that because that was the second one. But like Zach Bryan was opening, and so Warren Ziders was actually doing like a little thing just down in Morrison, and we were like, "Hey, you gonna come check out the show?" And he's like, "I don't want to go until I'm performing. I don't even want to see it." Yeah, I don't want and so sure enough, a year later, he was able to finally have his moment at Red Rocks. But like artists look forward to this show being able. Dustin Lynch still hasn't done it yet.
Yes.
And so he was supposed to do the show October, but it snowed. It snowed. It was one of those snowstorms that kicked in, and so he'll be performing for the first time, and he can't wait.
And he kept it too. Like he's never been there until they perform. They don't even go there when they're in town. It's going to be so good. Denver, we are ready for it. All right, you guys, have a fantastic day. Mwah.